Hello, everyone. Once again, this is Dare to Speak. I've been doing a lot more. I've been doing some research on the whole alien phenomenon, and even though I don't talk too much about aliens and stuff like that, it's usually ghost stories and haunted houses and sleep paralysis. And for those of you who haven't seen any of my videos on sleep paralysis, I strongly advise or recommend it. Those are the first couple of things that I did. So if you look under Dare to Speak, sleep paralysis, and you'll find my videos on it. And I explain what to do in order to fight them off. For those of you who suffer from sleep paralysis, and I did have a few encounters with I believe to be like insectoid type of aliens. And they actually came into my room. This is many years ago, and I'm not bothered by them anymore. So that's history. That's behind me now. But I do remember seeing a couple of them in the corner of my eye, and of course I couldn't move. I was in paralysis, and then these two beings that seemingly looked like they came through the wall, like holograms. They just came through the wall, and then they were approaching with some kind of device, like a I don't know, some kind of like a long cylinder, like a looks almost like a wand kind of thing, like a metal rod. And they were trying to do something to my head, to the side of my head. And then it lasted for about 3 seconds because I managed to. I never prayed. I used to, and I used to snap out of it. But I started to believe in myself instead of having to rely on you know, some God to help me, or Jesus or any of that stuff. If you want to do that, fine. If it works for you, that's fine. But for me, I did it. I said to myself, "You're not gonna do anything to me. Get the fuck away from me. I don't care who you are. Leave. Get the fuck away from me." That kind of attitude. And then I started saying some kind of words, which I'm not gonna say on video. What I said. These words that I said are very powerful, and they work for me. And it has nothing to do with religion, has nothing to do with God. And it has nothing to do with Satan, because there's no Satan either. Satan is also a myth. But I said these powerful words, and then I started to say, "Get away from me," and then, because they only came up to me and put this rod type of thing to my head. And then that's when I started to say something. I started to say these words, and then 3 seconds later, I broke out of it, and I saw them face to face. And then I started to utter out these words again as I was trying to get out of the bed, and then within like one full second, they turned and ran into the wall, and they disappeared into the wall. And the way they looked right before they disappeared was they were wearing cloaks, black cloaks, and their faces were white, but they weren't, and they looked like praying mantis type faces. That's how they looked like, and then they disappeared into the wall. They didn't get a chance to do what they wanted to do. I don't know what the hell they were trying to do to begin with, but I know it wasn't. I know it wasn't anything good. Well, that was like the most scariest thing. Well, one of the most scariest things actually that I managed to fight off. There was other ones that were a lot scarier than that. That had to do with something else. Most of my encounters had to do with goblins and elves, fairy beings, that kind of thing. But that's also old news too. That's like whatever. I'm not. It's been like more than 2 years now, possibly 3, that I haven't been bothered at all by these things. I would say 2.5 years. One thing does worry me though when I was doing some research, that these gray aliens, possibly also the insectoids. Now, this isn't conclusive, but this is something that I think is interesting. They could go as far as to fool people into believing the second coming of Christ. They actually have the technology to do it. They have these means of glamour, or this way. Now this is just a theory. I'm not saying that it's true. I don't, because honestly I don't know if it's true. I honestly don't know. So I'm not saying that it's true because like I said before, I honestly don't know. But if it is true, it should be addressed. That these beings could actually use the Bible to their advantage and take the form of this Jesus character, and they could actually fool people. And if the people do fall for it, by the tens of millions, I'm talking about tens of millions of people, and they actually fall for it, and then the numbers start growing more and more, then we're going to experience a tyranny. They could not even believe. An overwhelming tyranny. We'll never be free unless the good aliens that are fighting for us are forced to intervene, because they don't want us to be enslaved. But then they don't want to, from what I understand, from what I found out from this one source, if the good aliens do intervene, because they have to, they don't want to have to take care of us or babysit us, because that's not their job. And it does make sense to me. But they want us to be able to have an epiphany and then realize what's going on and fight for ourselves. And if we do fight for ourselves, they'll meet us halfway. The good aliens will meet us halfway. And that's what I found out from this one theory, from this one source that I found out. But the main point is the second coming of Christ kind of delusion is what really worries me, because this, like I said before about Christianity, you know how I feel about it and how corrupted it is and how dangerous it is to believe in it. The Bible, everything. Because the aliens are the ones, the evil ones, the sinister ones, are the ones that told man what to write. So it's basically based on them. Now, you don't have to believe me if you don't want to. That's fine. Any questions or comments, you know what to do. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And to all of you, take care.